Hello everyone, my name is Raven, and the name of the game is Disco Elysium. Don't forget to like, follow, subscribe, and obey. So, continuing where we left off. We've been talking with these dudes. Let's change up our attire here.
A shaggy-looking girl in her late teens or early 20s kneels on the ice with an electronic contraption in her hand. Hearing you approach, she looks up.
Oh, hello there.
She must be Estelle, the last of the speed freaks, Posse.
I forgot to take the hat off.
It's cold out here, but she's not wearing a hat. She must be freezing. Everyone knows drugs make you invulnerable to cold. You bet this one likes to party.
I better put my good hat on. Got the stat buff hat. There we go.
A shaggy-looking.
Oh.
She must. It's cold out. Everyone knows drugs make you invulnerable.
You must be
to
Estelle.
cold. You bet this one likes to party.
That's my name. I take it you have met the others. Did they tell you about the church and the club thing?
They did.
Will you help us?
What happened to the 10th season?
That's cool by me.
It's freezing. Where's your hat?
Huh?
Maybe she didn't hear you. A little louder.
It's freezing. You should have a hat on.
So should you.
You don't have to do anything.
Yes, but I do.
Oh, I didn't notice that.
It's nice, but you should wear one too.
Yeah, well... Look man, fuck the hat.
Your pulse rises.
Yeah, no, I'm not gonna do that. That language really necessary.
I'm sorry I said fuck the hat. I was concentrating on something else. My whole family swears and it rubbed off on me.
Yeah, just told me you went inside the church. What did you see in there?
Oh, that. You're not going to believe me. There's no point in me telling you.
She's less prone to blurt it out, grab man, than the others.
Well, go ahead.
Okay. I went in and I saw a woman next to one of those machines there. Noid calls it a mainframe. She was dressed like someone who's been raised by their grandmother. You know, strange old clothes. Had this absent expression, didn't say anything, just stood still.
Go on.
And then, you know, right behind her, a man crawled down the wall. Upside down like a crab, down the church wall. I think the woman didn't even know he was there. He was completely silent. He stopped right before he got to the floor, then just hung there like that, looking at me. Right at me. I fucking turned around and walked out. End of story.
Like a crab, you say?
What does Crabman look like?
It was too dark. I couldn't tell exactly.
Come on. She obviously could. She already went into detail.
Come on, what did he look like?
He looked like a banger, okay? He was all muscular and stuff. Had a mesh tank top. I know it sounds ridiculous, but that only made it scarier in a way.
A crab and a banger?
Yes, a banger. As in a mess gang member. I know what it sounds like, but that's what I saw.
Oh, I'll believe it when I see it.
Why?
What would you stand to gain?
Nothing. Anyway, what else?
About your friends.
My associates. I haven't got much to say about them.
You must know something about them.
Of course I do. I just don't tell people about my friends and who they are and so on. I don't provide information on them.
To the cops.
What about you then?
Me? I'm a silver bird.
A silver bird feels strangely familiar. Was it an expression? And if yes, then for what? Then your mind slips and the thought is gone.
Okay.
Don't know what makes you think it'll be any different later, but...
What's that device you have there? Oh, have you seen a red-haired woman around?
no.
Just no?
It's pretty desolate here. I only hear the dogs bark at night and see the shadows move down the coast.
Considering what we're trying to do here, it doesn't look like a good sign.
Superstition. We can turn the grim desolation into a fun dance club, and thus also help turn this hellhole around.
What's that device you have there?
This is a portable recording device. It's for field recording. Low quality, but still.
On the wires?
Actually, just one wire. I picked on it till the braiding came loose. The wire leads to a contact microphone.
It's a contact microphone.
A contact mic records sounds from inside things, like this ice.
Your mangled brain would like you to know there is a boxer called Contact Mike.
Okay. What about my mother and my wife?
No, you're welcome.
It has to do with the boxer contact mic.
Yeah, I record stuff with it.
No, I mean the boxer.
No. This is a contact microphone. It's for recording inside solid objects. Contact mic just beats people up.
That's not fair. And an understatement.
So, how's that thing work?
The mic? I don't exactly know. Somehow it doesn't pick up vibrations from the air. The book said it only picks up structure-borne sound, if you like technobabble.
Yeah, boxing is actually pretty involved. It's not just beating people up.
An entire litany spews forth.
You know what? No. You're not. Look at you in front of me a second. You take a picture. Yeah, I'm going with this one.
Man, you are one weird cop.
No, this is about me. This is about your lack of respect for unboxing greats and for yourself.
What is it with you and this Mike guy? Okay, if it floats your boat, I'll be more like Contact Mike and less like me.
Self-respect is not to float any boats but your own.
I'll keep that in mind for future use.
Where'd you get that mic from anyway?
Same place I got the recorder from, the Elysium.
What's the Elysium?
Oh man, you haven't been to the Elysium? It's the coolest place in this whole drug-addled shithole. It's a music club and a synthesizer workshop on Boogie Street in Jamrock. Musicians live there, like real musicians. I once saw Arno van Eyck.
Thinking about it really cheers her up. It's a long way from here, though.
So this the guy your friend Egghead likes?
Oh yeah, Egg's really into him. Maybe even too into him. He's a pretty intense personality.
Hey, didn't Piss and Fuck the World mention Van Eyck too?
Are the skulls into it?
A skull thing? Man, you sound like 100 years old when you say that.
No, you don't. She's mistaken you for an old person. Say you're cool.
I'm cool.
I don't know what that means.
I grind.
I don't know what that means either.
Nor do I, but I have concrete evidence I rock in the form of a rec tape player in a completely trashed hostel room.
That's cool.
Anyway, let's talk about that contact mic.
Sure.
Let's have some non-music
Okay.
for you. So what are you doing on the cold anyway?
Recording, I guess.
Recording what?
I think I'm recording cracks in the ice, but there's no way to tell. Not without headphones. I think I just recorded your footsteps too. Not sure how that will sound.
What happened to the headphones?
My boyfriend sold them.
What for?
I don't know, man. Things. Just stuff you need for life.
A lie. They were probably pawned off for something suspicious.
And these recordings for?
The musicians in the Elysium used them for making music. They looped the stuff, cutting the tapes together. They make music out of cracks in the ice and keys jangling. Crazy sounds like that. It's hard to explain. Anyway, I thought I'd make some too. It's supposed to be, like, a music place anyway. I don't really know what I'm doing. They use synthesizers too. I don't have a synthesizer.
She looks at the recording device, the thing she thought would fill her hours with joy and escape. It's turning out to be an empty fantasy. She feels childish, very useless all of a sudden.
Take this, you're cold.
No, man, fuck that, I'm cool. I'm sorry I said that. I'm sorry about the fuck.
It's okay.
Oh, this is where hat we going in.
Yeah, maybe you were right about the hat.
I had some other questions.
Go ahead.
The device is still warm from her touch and heavy as a brick from the batteries inside. The company logo, Omicron, adorns its yellow plastic cover. Inside, the tape is rolling. The girl looks at the device in your hands.
I'm sorry I had to sit there on the ice cream invisible at your age, or at any age in this weather waiting for it to get dark.
She looks you in the eye, her pupils wide, surrounded by a ridiculous amount of makeup.
The people who built this world intended to be better for you, but they failed. It is better to live in their failure than with this by your side.
The wind howls. She remains silent. It's real. Tell her.
It's not a childish fantasy. Give me a real weapon against fighting what's coming for you now.
What is?
Once again, I'm running a contact micro for the sons of Sam Baptiste to be on top of the box scroll. Overcoming adversity and spiritual trauma. Nothing is coming. Nothing you couldn't knock out in 3 rounds. The real fight is for the right attitude.
I can't believe this turned into another mic thing. Fine. Okay, I'll stick to it. I'll knock it out in 3 rounds. So thanks, I guess, for the psych session. Maybe I can return it. What's been eating you, officer?
What's been eating me?
Come on, I can tell. But, okay. Be a boyadero about it if you want to.
I guess something make my life hell.
What is it?
I think it's to play the working glass.
Oh. Really?
Yeah. Capital's running rapid, smashing creator and slave alike. I fear the process is irreversible.
Wow. Social justice really matters that much to you. That's commendable. It really had you shaken up there. Are you sure that's it, though?
Yeah, what's got me shaken up is the people struggling. It's got me shaken up bad.
Yeah, man. They're pretty bad.
Makes me sick about thinking about the billions of people. How many people are there?
3.6 billion, not counting those in cell.
Huh. Reduces me to tears thinking about how those billions of people are crushed under the tyranny of the market.
Yeah, that's pretty bad. Are you sure you're not just hung up on some chick, though?
Perhaps.
There's some winners and thrown in the trash. They might have something to do with it.
Okay. Why do you think that?
They ripped my woman's hand, and that did not make me feel good.
There you have it then. Chick trouble. It's political after all. Who was she?
I don't remember.
Really? You seem to be pretty upset about this chica. Are you sure you don't remember anything about her?
Her scent, that's it.
Wow, man. That's some pretty strange shit. Are you sure the letters were for you?
Yeah, I'm sure. I'd ever reacted so strongly otherwise.
How come you don't remember, though? Is it like some selective memory thing?
Oh, I got so unbelievably drunk I completely erased all memory of this world.
Yeah, or it might be that. This one time I did so much booze that I forgot too.
It's obvious she's done more than booze.
Or it might just be some psych bullshit, you know? Königstein wank.
Königstein wink?
You know, the psych thing they've got going on there. Rich people like it. People in Königstein are mostly rich.
I'm not sure if this made things any better.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Might be for the best to keep that shit forgotten, actually. Just my opinion. If it itches, don't scratch.
Yes, but it itches really, really bad.
Okay, bye.
Alright, before we go into the church...
The hawthorn tree on Rue de Songes Lane. Bronze-colored ribbons of magnetic tape are caught in its branches, fluttering in the breeze.
Huh. See if I can get that tape. What do I have for interfacing? What do I have that's bad for interfacing? Nothing, it seems.
The gnarled hawthorn tree on Rue de Songes with slow and deliberate motions, pulling, bending, and unraveling, you manage to extricate the magnetic tape from the branches. It curls up into a mess inside your pocket. If only you could find a way to re-spool it, so that you could hear what's on the tape. Maybe Roy from the pawn shop can help you with this.
What's the tape for?
Well, it's for Egghead. I promised to make his Van Eyck jam hit a bit harder. Maybe this can help.
How? It's broken and unspooled. Do you think your new buddy knows how to fix it?
I think at least one of the ravers would know how to fix broken tape if they want to set up a nightclub.
You could also get it fixed at the pawn shop across the street. We shouldn't waste our time.
Good idea. He might have the tools. The tape projector in the pawn shop uses similar tape. Typical Martinez streetlight sits among the...
Hello, hello. Let me know if I can help you with anything.
Can you help fix this?
You mean Reese Pooley? Yeah, I do, but
Could you please?
I'm not some Mr. Fix-It. I'm a pawnbroker. If you want to pawn the tape, sure. Although it looks pretty worthless.
Just explain why you need this so much. He's bound to understand.
It's not worth this for. It could be the next big thing for local dancing.
Huh? What do you mean?
You know the old church by the coast?
Yes. What about it?
I met some ravers near the place. They want to turn the church into a nightclub and play some weird neo-disco there. I was up with that.
Is it any good? The music, I mean.
Oh, no, it's... There's nothing to it. No bass. It needs zoop, zoop, zoop. But this tape could really help make it hardcore.
Man, you're really invested in this. Okay, I'll help you out. It's going to take a moment, though, so just sit back and relax.
You take some time to look around the store. The play of visuals all around the pawn shop is mesmerizing. Suddenly, Roy turns back to you with a reel of tape in his hand and coughs.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, my pleasure. I do what I can for true passion projects. Just try not to use this tape for negative photon emissions. Take responsibility, okay?
I guess that's not gonna work then. Okay. Huh. Oh, there they are. Oh.
The large-headed youth has closed his eyes, lost in the music. Sensing you, he opens them.
Good morning, comrade. Yeah!
Found this reel of tape. Maybe use it to Hard Up Bike's jam.
Yeah! Remix time! Tape goes here, into deck B.
A hand on his ear, he listens to the audio through his headphones and shouts.
Wow! Did you get this from Arno himself?
A great excitement is bubbling to the surface within him. This is big.
Actually, it was tangled up in a tree.
Listen, I'm just going to show it to you. Ready? Now, if only we had the beat for the full assault, it would be unbelievably hyper.
Intriguing. The way I see it, Van Eyck based his remix on some famous original piece, like a folk song, something local. Seems you found an initial part with the main melody.
I think it's just happenstance, chaos in action, contingencies of our limited existence. That and Egghead's fantastic talent.
Noid's right. Egghead's technical talent is the key. No, this is definitely part of the same song. Something cut from it. It fits too well. Something mysterious is going on here.
Huh. Maybe Arno lives around here and threw part of a song away because he thought it didn't like it?
Be how it may, if it fits, it fits. Bring up the volume.
What about the bass? Do you have any ideas for that?
Yeah, I remember. You said it needs more bass.
You can't just leave it without a bass track.
Well, nothing springs to my mind right now, but I'll see if I can come up with a solution down the line.
Yo, the warrior! The warrior of dance music!
Don't be too hard on yourself if you don't figure it out. I think the jam's already pretty ultra.
But it could be hyper hardcore!
Alright, let's go inside and see what's
Heavy
going on.
wooden doors, more than twice your height, stand shut in front of you. The rectangular sea-worn ornamentation appears in stark contrast to the padlock, carelessly drilled into the wood. The lock turns easily. You hear a click as the shackle pops open.
Let's go.
As you
Yep.
do, you hear the echo of the doomed commercial area, its black holes and dusty machines. Then the feeling passes. A great whoosh of air rushes into the dark innards of the church, as though rushing to fill a great vacuum in the heart of the city.
Whoa. Huh. Oh, go back, go back.
The silence in this part of the church, it's almost palpable. All the shifting matter and shuffling of living things is gone. Nothing seems to exist beyond the church anymore. Maybe if you were to stand in just the right spot, even your footsteps would be completely silent.
Wait, I still think I hear something.
And then it's gone. Almost all of it. But for the faintest of hums, it seems the sound here is detached from its source somehow, if not blotted out outright. Truly unusual. Sounds like the Pale.
How do I know what the Pale sounds like?
From recordings of the Far Pale. You've heard them. We all have. You can hardly hear your own breathing. Your voice is barely audible. Not a howl, but the softest of whimpers. It's unnerving. You produce a few muffled thumps, after which the silence feels even more total, somehow.
What's happening?
The lieutenant points to his ears and shakes his head. Then he leans closer.
Can you hear anything?
Almost nothing is beginning to worry me.
The church just has strange acoustics, some engineering trick.
His detached tone conceals how uncomfortable he is. Maybe the church was designed this way to prevent boisterous activity, singing and dancing on its premises.
Huh. Maybe they wanted to discourage singing and dancing.
Could be.
He doesn't seem entirely convinced, though. The orderly rows of ceiling panels become barely visible, then disappear completely in the darkness of the tower overhead.
Damn.
Just darkness without end. It makes your head spin.
What's the darkness like?
Filled with vague shapes of woodwork. The sense of a great height.
Try to make anything out.
There's nothing. You're dizzy and disoriented as you see dark and more dark rising.
Officer, what are you looking at?
You see something hanging from the rafters, looking straight at you with dark eyes. Maybe it's possible to talk to it. Is that a man? Looks more like part of the carpentry of the building came alive and is now studying you intently. The Crab Man.
Are you the Crab Man?
The man leans forward a little, fixing you with a steady, unreadable gaze, then speaks.
Habitual alcohol use has made you into a scared little pussy, Holmes. But don't worry, everything's gonna be okay. You come to the right place.
That accent is Villalobos, a peninsula in Mesk and a district in general. There's a sizable contingent of Villalobos-speaking Mesks in Revachol. Hold on. Stop it right there. Pussy, what's with this?
I don't understand why the female sexual organs have to be associated with weakness.
You really got a case of frayed nerves, pussy. And this usage comes from pusillanimous. Everybody knows that.
Oops.
Chill out, man. Here you could receive the mother's love. And when you're ready, she will take your hand and lift you out of that despair at the bottom of that bottle.
This man is obviously a habitual narcotics user. Do we really need to question him?
I'm put off by this religious stuff, he thinks. And maybe the ceiling climbing, too. It's all very hard to square with the lieutenant's own view of reality. Hey, and what was that about the bottle again? You haven't even drank that much lately. Lay off it already. Sheesh.
I'm a policeman. I need to talk about you about police things. I don't know anything about alcohol use.
Oh, yeah, sure. You don't know anything about alcohol use. You got it all under control, Wade. I could smell the control all the way over here.
You don't know me, man. There's something pursuing me, white and very sad.
I was like you once, just dragging my feet to the next bottle. Shit was dark, Holmes.
You know, actually, since we're here,
You may want to pay attention to what the ceiling climber is saying.
Who do you think you are? Some crazy guy on the roof? What is this
It
shit?
doesn't matter who I am, Way. I'm just bringing you the message of the mother's love. She don't want you to hang yourself on your own stubbornness. This is the Church of the Mother of Silence. You are welcome here.
You have no idea what the fuck he's talking about. Is he just trying to throw you off your game? 'Tis not an act, my liege. Save him perchance he hath deceived his very self. This man is a zealot.
So, who's the other spooky guy?
Other spooker? Oh, esa viejita es muy estudiosa. Don't know, Holmes.
Viejita is grandma?
Right, so there is another person living in the church, and it's your grandmother?
No. I just call her viejita because of her clothes. She's actually quite young. Or maybe not that young. Age is just one of the many masks we wear.
Wait, what if it's Ruby?
Did it ever seem to you like she was hiding here from something?
You mean like a fugitive? No, man. Quite the opposite. I don't think she cared much about authority or anything else for that matter. Maybe only about her machines.
I see. And where is she now?
I told you, Holmes. I don't know.
How can you know when you both live here?
Don't really follow her comings and goings. Just see her typing on her computer now and then. We got different interests.
Can you tell me anything about her? Who she looks, what she does, who is she?
I'm afraid not, Essay. You just have to wait until she comes back, or
search through her radiocomputer.
So some ravers want to turn this place into a nightclub.
The ones in the tent outside, right? I see them. Think they scared of me.
Do they have a reason to be scared?
Nah, man. They look pretty funny. And I don't harm no one anymore. Anyway.
Though he used to, a long time ago.
So what do you think about the nightclub?
Why not? They wouldn't bother me none. I'm usually way up there, imbibing. Ain't no music on earth that can reach where I go. Might even be nice to have some company.
He said that in spite of himself. He's more attached to the human than he'd like to think.
So I guess you are the crab man.
Never known myself to be a crab. But if that's the name you got for me, I won't stop you from using it.
It's your neighbors who came up with the name, not me.
I always thought of myself more like a flame, flickering along the rafters and beams. It may be that I gotta work on my technique.
That's not the only technique he's working on. Look at those carved sculptures. And is that a satchel of tools over there?
Huh, so you carved all these?
Sure am. Whittling wood used to be something I just did to busy my hands. Now I use those same hands in service of something greater than my own restlessness.
All right, let's consider the context and meaning here.
So these figures are trying to become one with the church, or perhaps the mother herself.
It's all just for the mother, man. No need to overthink it.
So what were we before we became Crabman Woodcarver?
I was in a gang way, but my memories of that time are fading. Most of them are already gone.
So many people lose their memory, a certain portent of doom.
Nah, Ese, it's not like that. Best thing that could happen to you, losing your memory.
Do you remember your name, sir?
Tiago's my name, but those syllables don't mean much to me these days. A name isn't just your identity, but also, so to speak, your place amongst your fellows, your place in the world. I ain't got no use for such a place anymore.
My name's Harriet Dubois. My place in the world is Lieutenant W. Frater.
That's just the thing, Holmes. None of that matters.
So what are you doing here?
This is a special place. There's a perforation in the world up there. A way out into nothingness. This church was built around it for purposes of veneration. I circled it, nurtured by the silence bestowed by the mother. One of these days, I'll be pure enough to go drink from it directly.
Who's this mother of silence you keep talking about?
Oh, that's no simple question, Hassan. She is one who can be painted or sculpted. She is a cavity in the dark beyond sense. She saved me, but I couldn't describe her to you. No one can, Holmes, and no one ever will.
So what'll happen when you drink from this perforation?
I will be incinerated, but not destroyed. Finally, I won with the state of the world before reality began.
That sounds a bit like substitution behavior, no? You know a thing or two about that.
So you're switching one drug for another.
It's not like that at all, man. It's just faith and joyful service.
Too gleeful, those words. He is lying. Not to you. To his very own self.
Faith is the drug.
I heard that before, Way. And I know I can't convince you on the spot. But think, when's the last time you woke up from silent communion with a hangover, regretting what you did last night?
There are drugs darker than alcohol circling your system.
Think love might have been my drug of choice, and I'm hungover from it.
She took you for a good spin, huh? Don't worry, bro. That love is but a drop compared to the ocean of the mother's love. The mother will eat all of you and never spit you out.
Let's just keep going.
I know it will take time. Don't sweat it.
I still don't understand what you're doing here.
I'm a seraph, Holmes. I sing the mother's glory.
You should warn about the coming apocalypse. Warn the unseen.
I ain't from no Marietti, if that's what you're thinking. And the song I sing is silent as the mother.
Marietti is a mesque style of music and dance, commonly seen at all manner of festivities, especially weddings. It's delightfully quaint, owing to its peasant origins.
So how'd you even find this place?
Hard to say. I think I did some construction work here, back when I still had material worries. Up there, I realized what the true purpose of the church was. Been spending a lot of time here ever since. The past is nothing to me now, Way. It didn't belong to me.
Right.
The sinewy figure lingers on the wooden beams, blending into the shadows.
So why was the church abandoned?
Police raid a while back.
Did you witness it?
Not really, or at least I don't remember much of it anymore. The mother's love has done its job. That's what's so great about the mother. It lets you forget about everything.
Huh. So he's worshipping the pail?
machine stands in the corner, watched over by the figures on the stained glass window. It's turned on and quivering with soft electricity.
Another radiocomputer. And this time it's already turned on.
These machines sometimes harbor traps, he thinks. Alarm systems and the like. Let's be careful.
We should leave. I doubt this place bears any connection to the case.
Huh, this one looks like the one in the DCA.
It's also quite similar to the one we have down at the station. Must be the same model.
The one you saw earlier was the Ream Civic. This is the Ream Prefect, a model number RC7024, equipped with a Fell mainframe and a Ream-compatible interim printer. The Ream Prefect is the governmental version of the commonly used Ream Civic model. Although mostly based on the same technology, the Ream Prefect is equipped with better noise attenuation circuits.
Let's just investigate.
You see fluorescent play and print buttons on the keyboard. A hatch connected to the central compartment is wide open. The lieutenant says nothing. You see the machine's glowing frame reflected back from his diamond-shaped glasses. You're free to proceed. Behind the hatch sits a cube-like crisscross of filaments, smoldering in the dark like fireflies. Silver tape on the side says, in black marker, log, February to March. Another filament memory. Press play to talk with the repeater. The speaker comes to life. Static seeps through the machine's planar magnetic driver. An old lady greets you. Her voice sounds 100 years old.
Good afternoon, Fortress Accident on Saint-Brune. This is the East Elysium Computer Station 1. Please repeat. Is this the personal log?
It's the same old woman you spoke with through the radio computer in the doomed commercial area.
Hi, Yvonne. How are you?
Good, thank you. Please repeat. Is this the personal log?
Looked at the core, but the log just on the film, it just said log Feb March.
Good. Please repeat the password.
Let's look around. There's no it. Maybe he knows something.
Received. I will register this login attempt.
That sounds bad. A login attempt. Something a criminal would do.
Fortress Accident, is there anything else I can do for you today?
Thanks, Bob Fish, for the call.
Goodbye, Fortress Accident.
The machine's keyboard is still illuminated, revealing fluorescent play and print buttons. Nothing happens.
Oh, hey, wait. There's coffee in the back. Oh, wait. I meant the mother's love.
So, did you hear what the Yetta said, to a radio computer?
Too many times, essay. You need it for something.
Surveys are a good way to fish for personal information, especially in the name of public safety.
Yeah, it's for a murder investigation.
Don't sweat it, Vato. The password is afterlife death. What do you think of that? Makes me almost pity La Nilita Pequeña when I hear it. I think we're done here, Ese.
That was an interesting conversation. However, I'm still not sure whether we'll find our suspect here.
The machine's keyboard is still the speaker.
Good afternoon, Fortress Accident on Saint-Brune. This is the East Elysium Computer Station 1. Please repeat. Is this the personal log?
Huh. Fortress accent like the one in the DCA?
I have two machines registered to this company named Martinez. One on Saint-Brun, the other on Rue de Saint-Ghislaine.
Saint-Brun. That's the church. And Rue de Saint-Ghislaine? That's the doomed commercial area.
Anything else I can help you with? Good. Please repeat the password. Good. I have unlocked the filament. After ending the call, please press print to access the filament. Fortress accident. Is there anything else I can do for you today?
Thank you.
Goodbye, Fortress accident.
The machine's keyboard is still illuminated, revealing fluorescent play and print buttons. The printer prints out a long text document with dated paragraphs. It looks a bit like someone's journal. The first entry, made on the 4th of February, 51, by an unknown author, is short and concise. Arrived at the church. The door was boarded up, so I used the crowbar to get inside. Looks like the place has been deserted. Nothing out of the ordinary, but I'll ask around. Need to figure out how to get the electricity in. The lieutenant leans closer, scouring the printout over your shoulder. Just as you finish reading, he looks up, muttering under his breath.
4th of February. That's over a month ago. Whoever set up those machines has been here for quite a while.
Well, this could be connected to Casey. What do you think?
Our case? No, I don't think so. It must be some local eccentric.
6th of February, 51. Had a little chat with the local fishermen. Said I shouldn't go near that place, that the church was spooky and ridden with narcotics. It's a little spooky, all right. Still haven't figured out the electricity. See? Even one of the spookers themselves says it's unnerving. 7th of February, 51. Finally got the electricity in. Next on the agenda, a new antenna. I'm thinking ESCA series, something advanced.
Why would she need an antenna?
Why would anyone need any of this equipment here?
8th of February, 51. Bought the antenna, had some problems setting it up. Called Simon for help. Heard the others are back to making art. Drinking somewhere out of town. Sulislav started a rock band again. Lexi has been seen asking money from strangers, but at least the artists are getting together. They're qualified labor. They can get work anywhere. Graphic design, ads. The programmers are doing fine too. I mean, they're programmers. The writers, though, they're fucked. I just have to find out what caused that data loss and be done with it. Still don't understand how it managed to wipe out the backup, when the backup wasn't even connected to the front. I know. Everyone thinks it's impossible. They say I must be lying. I'm here to set it right.
A data loss?
Seems like something to do with radiocomputers. Unfortunately, I don't know enough about them to understand what the author is saying. Something about the backup data getting destroyed, and how everyone thought it was the author's fault. Let's just keep reading.
Artist programmers Lexi, who are
I
they?
think these people worked in the radiocomputer games business. The one we saw in the Doom commercial area. They must be our former co-workers.
12th of February, 51. Brought some food from the grocery store. Apparently, there's a strike going on in the harbor. Definitely not happy to see the Martinez people again. Everything's now set up in the church. Going to start working tomorrow, 8 a.m.
The strike. We are nearing the date of the murder. Keep reading. I'm interested now. I want to know what's that radio anomaly that sent this person here in the first place.
25th of February, 51. I've been sending data up to Linta for a while now, trying to recreate the data loss, but nothing. Didn't even feel like logging in, the disappointment. But I did discover a curious audio-spatial anomaly at the back of the church. I've named it the Swallow. It swallows sound. Need to get some mics.
Is she talking about?
28th of February, 51. Yes, the first recordings confirm that the swallow is real, and I'm not just losing my mind. It's a pillar of silence, with a diameter of approximately 3 meters. Seems like the higher I go, the less I record. This might be a coincidence, or it could be connected to the data loss that led me here.
The pillar of silence. She is talking about the silence. Is she suggesting it's more than just an architectural quirk?
What could it be?
The lieutenant doesn't answer. He follows your gaze, studying the basins. The water shines in them. No ripples. March 51. Some kind of young disco men have appeared next to the church. I've been trying to record the silence to find the epicenter, but now it turns out I've also been capturing the future of dance music. One neo-disco song over and over again. Fortunately, the song is so monotonous, I was able to devise an algorithm to factor it out. The other day, one of the disco men came in. Before I could even say hello, she got scared and left. Good. I don't want anyone distracting me from my work. That disco man must be a cell.
Must be a cell.
Girl on the ice? Sounds like her, yes.
March 51. I got a call from the repeater station. Someone has tried to access the radio computer in our old office in Martinez. Can't do anything about it. The storekeeper still doesn't want to let me inside the building. Thinks I'm part of some kind of curse. How Martinez of her.
Huh. I was the one who did that. Storekeeper must be placed.
I knew it wasn't a good idea to meddle with that machine.
No. It was a great idea. You're learning things. This is how you learn things about machine. March 51. A new 2-meter aux cable. Noodles. Crackers. Ping energy drinks. Water. Toothpaste. Gum. Also, some canned air. Your reading is interrupted by the sound of the church door opening. A strange woman makes straight for the radio computer.
Breaking into my radio computer, I see.
Yes, you are breaking in, but not into her radio computer. You're a master circuit bender.
I do apologize for the intrusion, madame. We are with the RCN, you see.
We're looking for a suspect in a murder investigation. We thought they might be hiding here.
No one's hiding here. It's just me and my computer, and it has been this way for weeks. Now please give me some room. I need 2 seconds to see that you haven't destroyed anything.
We should talk to her after she has rebooted the machine.
What is it?
I didn't break anything, do I?
No, you just printed out my personal log and wasted some paper.
Are you the lead programmer we're all intended by any chance?
Yes. Or, no. Not anymore. That project is dead.
She doesn't seem surprised to be recognized. Rather sad. Something passes over her face before she straightens her back.
Sorry, but who are you? What are you doing here?
I am Soona Luukkanen-Kilde, the former lead programmer of Fortress Accident and RSA radios. I have over 16 years of programming experience, and I'm proficient in both Vox and Orbis languages. If you're not here to hire me, I don't really know how I can help you.
Did she say over 16 years of experience? She must have started programming when she was still a teenager.
So have you seen the Crabman?
No.
You know why he's around?
Yes.
He's seen you.
And?
Okay, it's a big deal then.
No, you're right. I'm not.
So you haven't seen anyone suspicious? A woman named Ruby?
What? No, no one's suspicious around here.
She has not seen her, sire. 'Tis true.
What's with all the machines?
I brought them here. These are my machines. Please don't touch anything.
Why do you need an antenna?
I use the AR1 as my RAIN prefix processing unit.
That's your computer, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the antenna is its processor?
Yes. You really don't know anything about radio computers, do you?
We don't know much about anywhere in the world, to be honest.
All right. Well, all radio computers perform operations up on air. So in order to gain more processing power, you need to invest in a good antenna.
And the R1's pretty good?
I guess it is. So far I've been quite satisfied with it. Martinez is an unstable region with bad coverage, and the operation has been surprisingly stable. But it's not the cheapest one on the market. So I wouldn't recommend it for your regular red tape operations. Fraser 1000 is a foolproof line for civilians. Anyway, you should do some research before you decide to buy anything. Ask around, compare the prices. There are many milieus dedicated to that sort of thing.
She liked telling me this. It calmed her nerves.
So what's going on here?
I'm working.
The machine seems almost alien with its pulsing core. The light casting her face in a strange shadow.
Working on what?
Could you just shh for a moment? Or get to the point. I really need to focus on something.
It's not just rudeness. It really is hard to concentrate on whatever she needs to do. And you're not helping.
Wasn't the RAM Perfect made exclusively for government use?
So you do know something about computers. You're right. Prefect is used mostly by the government peeps.
So why do you have it?
Because I needed something good for my investigation, and Reims Civic is widely agreed to be below all standards. So I had to upgrade. Besides, owning a Reims Prefect isn't such a big deal anymore.
No, actually, it is kind of a big deal. You don't see Ream prefects in every police department, for example.
Why'd you get your hands on it?
I know a friend of a friend who used to freelance for the Coalition. I was actually aiming for the military-grade Reim Rational series, but couldn't find one. Prefect is mainly based on the same technology as Reims Civic, so it's kind of a rip-off. But it does have better compatibility with newer antenna models, so I won't complain.
What about these bowls of water?
They are connected to my Reim Prefect. Whatever you do, just please don't move them, okay? Thanks.
Short and terse. There you have it. Whatever she's using them for, they're hers.
Great.
Okay. So what are you doing here in the abandoned church?
You really like those questions, don't you?
They're bloodshot. She really hasn't been getting much sleep lately, has she?
I'm a police officer, it's my job.
I'm conducting scientific research here. You can't throw me out. I'm looking for the location of a 2mm hole in the world.
Wait, what? She's looking for a disruption in the radio waves. That's what her personal log said. The lieutenant raises his brows, but doesn't say anything.
So the hole's connected to the data lost in your journal.
Yes, that's what led me here. But I suspect it might be something a bit more complicated than that.
How so?
Exactly. What does it mean? Up to now, it has been impossible to say what it is because it's impossible to measure nothing. What do you think it is? What qualities does nothing have? How do you measure something that does not exist?
Easy. You measure it by the world around it.
Well, you collect data on the surroundings, what exists.
Exactly. Very true. That's what I've been aiming for. That's why I have those basins. I've tried using hydro transducers to record the silence. To find out where it begins.
Hydro transducers. So that's what those water basins are. Devices for recording sound through water.
But honestly, it's not progressing very well.
Have any idea where this hole is?
Somewhere underneath those roof beams, I assume.
Only a faint crisscross of rafters can be made out from the dark. Most of the tower disappearing into the shade. Strange things may flourish in the dark.
Why there?
There's this place at the back of the church. A place where all audible vibrations seem to cease. I've named it the Swallow. And the higher you go, the less you record.
The Pillar of Silence? Are you sure it's not just an architectural quirk?
Maybe, but it's oddly close to the physical coordinates of the data loss that led me to this place.
That's where Crabman lives.
I know.
You don't think he's somehow responsible?
No, I don't.
She sounds mildly annoyed by this line of questioning. Her hands typing hundreds of commands into the machine.
So, what's wrong with the research?
Because it's just trial and error, trying to locate the Swallow, the exact point in space. And I don't have a... You know what? It would be really helpful if you could just stop talking and let me work.
Well, that's all I want to know about the pinhole in the world for now.
Great. Thanks.
How do you feel about anodic dance music?
What? I hate it.
I bet she hasn't even heard it.
Have you listened to it?
Yeah. Like all the time. My tent neighbors don't really ease up with their partying, do they? Maybe I'd have to be on drugs to get it, but to a sober mind it just sounds like uninspired rug whipping. No idea what it has to do with either dancing or music.
Okay, what do you feel about a club for that?
This is about those speed freaks in the tent, isn't it? I've got some news for you. It's not a nightclub they want to build here.
What do you want to
Take
know?
a guess, why don't you?
Well, they're also playing on Drum Lab.
Bingo! That's exactly what they're up to.
Ah, wonderful. Now this house of worship is also going to be a drug lab. Always something fascinating happening in tents.
It's just encouraging active youth culture.
Yeah, what I said before. Not possible to appreciate that kind of music without being high as a kite. So that's settled. Great. No nightclubs in the church then.
Okay.
In white, silver, and apricot faience, the young mother of humanism stands above you. A crack runs across her body. She is impossibly tall, oval-faced and sad. A dark and radiant majesty. This is her innocence, Dolores Day. Cradled in her arms are a pair of glowing lungs, clearly visible from underneath her flowing dress. You should kneel. Cold wind seeps in from the crack in the glass. Snowdrifts cover the floorboards at your feet. Above, you feel her multicolored eyes on you, inspecting you as if under a microscope. As that bitter thought passes through your head, the lieutenant draws an X-shaped cross from shoulder to shoulder with 3 fingers. Good call. She left us all in the shits. Don't give her a single thing. Just stand there in the apricot-colored light of the window, secretly grinding your teeth. The woman smiles her distant smile, unmoved, struck in half by the crack in the glass. Serves her right. She only cares about her sovereign's orb and her silk robes and getting to the aerodrome on time. To leave. Despite the damage you've done to yourself, the title appears lodged in your hippocampus. This is her innocence, Dolores Day. The innocence of humanism, internationalism, and the welfare state. Perhaps the most famous human being ever to have lived. No amount of Commodore Red can wipe her sad smile from your brain thing. It has survived the deluge and haunts you still. And will haunt you forever, as it haunts all men.
What exactly is an innocence?
The highest category of historic individual, an embodiment of the world spirit. In a way, an innocence is elected to office by the founding party, a precedent that has taken place a mere 6 times in the entirety of history. The legal system of the Real Belt is built from the ground up to accommodate an authentic rule should it coincide with our time. An innocence is infallible. The decisions made by one are not decisions. They are inevitabilities. What would have happened anyway? Only accelerated, packed into decades instead of centuries. An innocence is a continuous, compressed event, a sacred human being. It is an honor and a glory to live when one is in office.
Is one in office now?
No, we are alone.
When did she roll?
300 years ago, in the wake of the discovery of this Isola, the Insulindian, by explorers from the continent of Muindi. She is, among other things, the innocence of inter-isolary travel and the connected world.
What else do I know about her?
Many things. You know she was a woman of the court, the wife of an influential Marchese, and eventually the principal advisor to Irene La Navigateur, Queen of Seren, modern-day Sir La Clé, Also, that she was gorgeous beyond beauty, draped in ancient sadness. Are you sure you want to remember this bit of historic trivia? Standing under a long, slender form like this, dwarfed.
Where's this coming from?
The past. It's a silo of sadness, fermenting. You should keep away. No, you must know.
What else was she
Terribly, women of the court were expected to play both contract bridge and chess sufficiently well to prove an interesting challenge to a man. A simple grasp in matters of philosophy, theology, and science was encouraged. She was, by all means, a kept woman. She made the most of her position in the antediluvian court. A court visited by the most prominent thinkers and artists of the day. In secret, she was becoming the era's preeminent philosopher of the state. A scalpel, a piercing gaze. She was an almost preternaturally magnetic and intelligent individual. To her contemporaries, she appeared out of time, a messenger from the future of the species. We all fell in love with her, head over heels. Even before she was declared an innocence, her influence was tremendous.
How come?
It was on her advice that Irene Le Navigateur sponsored a number of voyages into the Pale. A costly, often tragic endeavor, ultimately vindicated by the discovery of the new world, the piece of reality you're standing on. She was crowned 2 years after the first expedition returned, setting in motion what is widely considered the greatest era in history. The DeLorean era.
Huh.
Wow, indeed. When her innocence was declared, and the queen she had advised for years fell on her knees before her, she was so overcome with emotion that her lungs started glowing in her chest. Bystanders reported golden filaments lighting the already sunlit chamber around her, clearly visible beneath her dress. That is why the lungs are the symbol of love for the cultures of the Rial Belt.
I want more.
As did we all. The lands of the Mess and the Occident, and even far away Supreme Windy. Altogether, 21 of the 40 mundial nations of the time immediately accepted Innocentic rule, even before her crowning. In a city called Advesperaskit, in Vesper Messina, her homeland, the name of the city means evening comes, but it happened on a winter's morning, with the canals frozen and slush falling out of the sky. She was dressed in a white and pearl dress on an emptied-out plaza with the crowd far away. Already, her Theriers, the secret servicemen of the Innocents, were worried about an assassination attempt.
She must have been beautiful then.
Oh yes, she looked like humanity's young mother, a perfect mother, insultingly beautiful. It was as if her face and shoulders and hands were covered in a soft down of underfeathers. You know this well, very well. Midwinter snow was beating the cobblestones around her. A small attaché of officials stood by as her Theriers placed a white gold wreath on her head. The crowning was mostly witnessed by secret servicemen.
And what?
One of the men in this secret service killed her 22 years later. A young man who had come to suspect that Dolores Day was not entirely human, but something else.
What?
Something that had walked in our midst, watching us stumble for hundreds, if not thousands of years, until it decided to interfere in the course of our history. We were supposed to come up with this ourselves. The man was reported to have screamed at the Innocents. Dolores Day was shot in the chest with a fowling piece 8 times. The man, thought to be insane, said he once touched her and her body had been unnaturally warm, like a furnace, and that sometimes, while on duty, he observed her forgetting to breathe for over 10 minutes. This inhuman quality was witnessed by many others as well, glowing lungs and all. It is commonly attributed to mass hysteria and religious psychology.
There's nothing terrifying about her?
Terrifying is a term too emotionally charged for your semantic memory, or what remains of it. But terrifying, it's a simple word. She was bad for humanity, and you shouldn't have started thinking about her.
No, I want to know.
You already do. Although she's often considered to be the greatest human being to ever live, there was something ominous about Dolores Day. Constantly surrounded by her Theriers, she was the most socially secluded and least self-aware of all the innocences. Some modern thinkers would consider her a war criminal for the campaigns she waged against the Mesk state. And then there were the resettlement programs. The Mesk state tried to detach itself from innocentic rule. Parts of the world were experiencing whiplash from accelerated into secularism. Her mandatory education programs and mass resettlement of upstream Marguerite were problematic as well. Dissenters were suppressed by a military force she called the Army of Humanity, suggesting those who fight against it are not part of humanity.
Yep.
She adored chess, yes, but also military war games. Dolores Day often holds a tiny tin soldier between her index finger and thumb in icons such as this. She was also blonde, the blondest woman you have ever seen, with green eyes the color of the Pacific. Mare interregnum. Little is known of her Marchese husband. It's as if he vanished from history after completing his role, which was to introduce Dolores Day to court. In conclusion, yes, there is something lonely, paranoid, and even terrifying that people seldom mention, but feel when they think of her. This subtle terror is part of her iconography.
Huh.
Lieutenant Jeffreiter, you've stood there for over 5 minutes. What are you thinking of, if I may ask?
Why did we tolerate this woman long before we shot her?
She introduced us to the idea of public education, retirement, and modern diplomacy. Either way, this church, we shouldn't linger here. This isn't a good place to get lost in.
A jigsaw of broken shards falls into place in front of you, a ghostly reconstruction of the stained glass window. Before it was shattered, there was an older woman beneath the younger one, and a text, a light motif below them both.
Huh. Who shattered this mosaic?
Unknown. A motor carriage, a gunshot, someone falling into it, or maybe just hooligans looking for something to break.
Who's the older woman?
The escutcheon on her throne says, Irene the Navigator. She is depicted as an older woman wearing thick-rimmed eyeglasses, holding a golden Reichsapfel in one hand and a scepter in the other. This is the queen her Innocence Day advised. Above, she herself is whole. Small figures of wise men, common men, worshippers walk up the stairs to stand at her feet. Secret servicemen, Theriers, stand in a row guarding her. It must have taken years to produce this work in all its dizzying detail.
What's the motto say?
Below both women, in luminous black letters, Après la vie, mort. Après la mort, la vie de nouveau. And then, along the left side, Après le monde, la gré. Après le gré, le monde de nouveau. After life, death. After death, life again. After the world, the pale. After the pale, the world again. This is the great leitmotif of humanism, a summary of the effect of the discovery of this Isola, the Insulindian, on human thinking. A tremendous sea change akin to finding life after death.
It used to say afterlife, death after.
Death. Life again. After the world, the pale. After the pale, the world again. This exaltation is common in Dolorian sacralism. In the early years, it was even incorporated as the RCM slogan. No more, however.
What's the motto now?
Justice, union, prudence, and force.
Not very feminine.
Not at all.
The mother of humanism towers above you.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Hey, her innocence Dolores Day liked little figurines, right? Liked holding little men between her fingers, remember?
What?
You have the headless Falcon Rider figurine. You should give it to her. Win her back.
What? Win her back? I can't win her back.
Don't be so pessimistic. Love doesn't die that easily. This isn't funny. You have a bad feeling about this one.
Why not?
So very, very, very nifty. Nifty and mysterious. This is surely what the figurines are for. The mother of humanism stands above you, a precious and complex wax painting on a single pane of glass. A crack runs across the length of her body, her face oval and sad.
Can't give this figurine
Why?
to her. Well, she's a stained glass window.
That does seem to be a problem. Maybe you meant something else?
Like what?
I don't know. What are we thinking of? Part of your mind has gone on to other things already. Only a strange little sadness remains. The mother of humanism.
Hello again.
Oh, I guess I gotta find more of that beat, but okay.
Everything's still cool here, officer. Me?
This man probably cut.
Very cool. You keep coming back. That's good, officer. The shine on these sunglasses
The speakers below are banged up and worthless.
Huh. So I'm having trouble finding
tiles on the cube are still smoldering. The speaker comes.
Good afternoon. Fortress accident en rue de... Please repeat. Is this the production schedule?
Let's try it.
Good. Please repeat the password.
Afterlife death.
Good. I've unlocked the production schedule. After ending the call, please press print to access the filament.
Really? She just used the same password? Maybe those radiocomputer guys aren't that paranoid after all.
Fortress accident. Is there anything else I can do for you today? Thank you, and goodbye.
Tiles on the cube are still smoldering, casting the framework in a soft glow. Fluorescent play and print keys shine on the keyboard.
Print.
With a quiet determination, the printer starts printing, a piece of paper unfolding like a handheld fan. A black crisscross of letters covers its surface. It's a project report written by the lead producer, Andrew Andy Schott, about Whirl Untethered, a radio game developed by Studio Fortress Accident. The first few pages give an overview of the capital and workforce, while the rest of it seems to be a production schedule.
Let's read through it.
In its short time of existence, Fortress Accident SCA managed to burn through truly insane amounts of money. The first tranche of seed financing brought in 150,000 Ria, but then came the delays. Eventually, the damage reached 400,000 Ria, with only half of the game finished.
Where'd they get all the money?
Let's just say it was a real adventure for their Igaunian investor.
Let's see, read the workforce.
Fortress Accident employed 18 people. The bulk of the team composed of writers and concept artists. There were also radio programmers, sound engineers, a CEO, 2 marketing experts, and a single overburdened producer who developed a habit of popping Pyrrolidon in the basement to escape his obligations. Why did Fortress Accident have so many concept artists?
Yeah, why did a radio game need so many artists?
It didn't.
It didn't?
No, definitely not. A few more producers could have come in handy though, especially when dealing with writers, some of whom routinely skip to work because of mental health issues and extremely unprofessional sleep schedules. One of them even managed to steal some valuable company property before skipping town for good.
See the production schedule?
The production schedule depicts their glorious descent into bankruptcy.
Because of the concept artists.
Not the concept artists. It wasn't even the writers. With their panic attacks and 3-hour lunches, it was impossible not to fail. The project was too large, and no amount of money could satiate the ever-expanding ambitions of the development team. They tried to make a 4 million real game with 400,000 in their bank account. They thought they could bridge the gap with pure willpower and imagination. They couldn't.
I could have.
No, you couldn't have.
I could have.
Definitely not. Not a chance. Even then, success remained within an ever-narrowing margin of possibility that, despite everything, never entirely disappeared. That is, until they discovered the Valley of the Heads.
What?
At the 11th hour, the lead designer, Jimsk-born Sulisław Jalisa, decided that what Whirl Untethered needed was a secret mystical location at the extreme edge of the map. This place was to be the Valley of the Heads, where the heads of all the headless constructs could be found. The player would have been able to choose a head for their headless party member, and each head would have been voiced on air by a professional actor.
That's... how many people were there?
The world had never seen their kind before, and might never again.
How many heads were there?
So many. The last count, there were approximately 10,000 heads for 10,000 headless men, all of which could be endlessly recombined.
How many combinations?
Do you really want to know? There seems to be a calculation here, but it may take a while. The lieutenant taps his foot impatiently, his arms folded tight against his chest.
Keep going.
What if you broke the radiocomputer? What if it's never going to stop?
Just let it go over.
And that's it.
Wow, that's
Well, yeah,
them.
that and the catastrophic data loss.
Right, what Suna mentioned in church law.
On the nature of the data loss, there's ominously little information in the production log. It comes at the very end, where things get fuzzy and dark, where tables and numbers seem to vanish into an eerie nothingness, before the Egalian investors pulled the plug. What is clear is that one day, an unidentified numeric anomaly occurred on the East Insulindian Lintel front, just as the Wirral Untethered project was being compiled that day.
And all that caused the data to get lost in the air.
When the project was returned, it was completely blank. The team spent weeks on the phone with Lintel, the service provider, but despite their diagnostics, they could never produce a satisfactory explanation or pay for the loss.
Was there a copy of the game in the backup?
Mysteriously enough, it seems that the offsite copy happened to be on-site when the catastrophic data loss occurred. It was the lead programmer's responsibility to oversee weekly maintenance of the offsite copy and, well, keep it off-site. An explanatory note from the lead programmer has been attached. S. Luukinen Kilda, the lead programmer of Fortress Accident. The off-site copy was on-site because there was no off-site anymore. Not for me, not after 8 months of crunch. I didn't have a home anymore, so I started keeping it in the basement in the ice bear refrigerator near where I went to sleep. It was perfectly safe there. The temperature conditions were optimal.
Huh.
That's not what her colleagues thought.
Anything else from this lead programmer?
The production schedule ends with a few random notes that seem to be added sometime later. 4 months later, by an unknown author. I am the only one left, and it's gotten rather damp here. A few other businesses have gone under, too. Slipstream switched to making skis, and the hairdressers just left, cursing Martinez. They're right, though. Something's seriously wrong with this place. Martinez, all of it. Still haven't got an answer from Lintel about what happened. All I could get were the physical coordinates of the error on the East Insulindian front on that day. Since the computation happened on air, I reckoned it had to coincide with an actually existing location. I have compared the coordinates to a map of Revachol West. Turns out it's only 800 meters from here. The address is Saint-Brun 1147. I am going there to look this thing in the eye. Saint-Brun 1147? That's what the street sign next to the church said. Tiles on the cube are still smoldering, casting the framework in a soft glow. Fluorescent play and print keys shine on the keyboard. The filament slides out of its glowing nest. The bear's eyes are still glowing red. It's guarding over the freezing corpse hidden. A friendly cartoon bear smiles back at you. From a glossy, the paper still smells of vanilla and chocolate, even under... This orange machine is buzzing like you slip your... No. If you want...
Equip the pry bar by going to the Tools tab in your inventory.
I need a better pry bar for that, don't I? to do now? What to do now? Let's try to shave again.
On the table, you see a bowl of water. On the table, you see a bowl of water. Like an artist with a brush or a master swordsman, you use the small mirror and the straight razor with some soap to remove all that unkempt hair from below the nose line. The sharp blade chafes against your skin, producing a scratching sound. The surface underneath the beard feels tender, the air brushing against it chilly. They feel so smooth, surprisingly so. A feeling of freshness overcomes you, as if you just came from a cold bath. The water reflects back a vague image of your clean-shaven face. Despite the bulbous nose, unkempt hair, and persistent swelling, you look a little younger, maybe. You almost look like a professional.
Yes?
So I shaved.
Yes. I don't know what to say. Perhaps,
Stunning?
I'm really not sure about this turn of events. I may have preferred the mutton chops. They sort of seem to cover up the...
Damage. Yeah, damage.
Either way, good on you. You were saying?
As you turn, a bright light catches your eye, making you squint.
Where's it coming from?
From a distant sunset, a stage light, flash photography, nowhere in particular. It's just what superstar law officers do. They squint at lights, and they solve shit.
Yeah, that's me.
Yeah, you have. You're a big dick cop, Dick Mullen. Salem Rocky Baye, badass on the edge disco cop. Time to recede into a ludicrous fantasy world. Here we go. Camera. Lights.
Ludicrous fantasy world?
Yeah, you know. Beneath it is just heartbreak, a pulmonary tract infection, atherosclerotic disease. This is where you say action and reconceptualize all that. Reinvent it as the world's first celebrity police officer. This is the beginning of your legend.
Yeah.
With a sudden flash, the world freezes around you, and you along with it. In an iconic monochrome solution, a black silhouette against a rasterized orange world. It's on.
You're back. Good. What can I help you with? Not an umbrella, I hope. I don't need one myself, you see.
I can use a color like that.
Sadly, I need this one myself. It's hydrophobic, repels water, almost magically. The company makes them for offshore platform personnel. Very sturdy. What I can do for you is answer some questions.
Oh, I can't really... Oh, hey, Metal Chaos! That's right, you're muted. Alright. What else can I do? I gotta try to figure out where... Up. Yeah, I know that. Actually, let's see if I can give her the tape.
Yes, what is it?
Okay, I guess I
swallow,
can't.
You mean? Great. Thanks.
Oh well. Huh. What else can I do? Ah, stop doing that. Ah, I gotta use the controller again. Okay. Huh. Well, some of these I can't even do anymore. Volition and the Inland Empire. Let's do it.
Yes?
Only banal things, one you should be ashamed of.
Damn it, I'm not banal.
Yes?
What if
Yes.
you did it?
What did the hangman?
Yes, you killed him. And then, as part of the plan, you drowned out the memory. Maybe this is why your chest feels so hollow. You did an awful thing. And you can't even bring yourself to acknowledge it. Are you sure you would have the strength to take down a hardened mercenary? You're not in the best shape.
What if I did it, Kim?
And what has led you to this conclusion?
My chest feels hollow, like I did something terrible.
That is a common side effect of overindulgence. It will pass. Besides, I doubt you could have taken down a hardened mercenary single-handedly.
See? You're clearly not a man in your prime anymore.
Don't take it personally. It's just that security guards kept on by large corporations tend to be better trained and better armed than officers of the RCM.
So you're saying I didn't kill him, but Kim, turned out I was the one racing around the town in my motor carriage.
The victim wasn't run over by a drunk driver. So, while I can't condone your driving habits, the cases remain unrelated. Look, it's not unusual for detectives to feel complicit in a crime until the perpetrator is identified and apprehended, especially when the investigation is dragging. So, let's get back to it, shall we?
Right. Okay, so we gotta help Van Eck. We gotta help the bee. Figure out what to do with the nightclub. We gotta check these areas for bullet traces. So that's probably be the next one. Alright, so let's see how I could the stream. Haiku of the stream. Freezing Eventide. A single unreal love source. At the Perfect Frog. Alright. So let's save. And yeah, that'll be the next one. Later.